Your goal is to speak English fluently, like a native speaker. But there is a problem, a serious problem that most English learners experience. And today, we are going to talk about that problem and solve it step by step. So, what exactly is the problem? The problem is not grammar. The problem is not vocabulary. And the problem is not pronunciation either. The real problem is the way you see yourself. For many years, you have been calling yourself an English learner. You say things like, "I'm learning English," or "My English is not good yet," or "I'm still a student." Every time you say these things,
Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Learning Booster. Today we are going to talk about another important mindset shift: mistakes. Let's jump right in.
your brain creates an identity. Your brain believes that you are someone who is preparing to speak English someday in the future, not someone who speaks English today. This identity creates a dangerous habit. You keep preparing instead of participating. You keep studying instead of speaking. You keep waiting for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. Think about it. How many years have you been studying English? Maybe 5 years? Maybe 10 years? Maybe even longer. But when it's time to speak, you still hesitate. Why? Because deep inside your mind, you still believe you are only a student. Students behave differently from speakers. Students listen. Students memorize. Students take notes. But speakers express ideas. Speakers share opinions. Speakers join conversations even when their English is not perfect. So today, we are going to change something very important: your identity. From this moment forward, you are not just learning English. You are someone who speaks English. And when your identity changes, your actions will change automatically. Imagine you are at a networking event. People around you are talking in English. The old version of you stands quietly in the corner thinking, "My English is not good enough." You worry about making mistakes. You worry about what people might think. So you stay silent. But the new version of you walks over and says, "Hi, my name is Ali. Nice to meet you." Maybe the sentence is simple. Maybe the pronunciation is not perfect. But that doesn't matter. Because speakers speak, even imperfectly. And the moment you start speaking, something powerful happens. You start gaining confidence. You start gaining experience. And your brain begins to believe something new. I am someone who speaks English. Now, let's talk about something very important: the difference between studying English and using English. Most students measure progress by how much they study. Someone might proudly say, "I studied English for 3 hours today." But here is the important question. Did you speak? Did you share ideas? Did you communicate with someone? If the answer is no, then your English did not grow very much. Because language grows through use, not just study. Speakers understand something powerful. Progress is measured by participation. How many conversations did you have today? How many times did you express your opinion? How many ideas did you share? Imagine you are ordering coffee. The old version of you rehearses the sentence silently in your mind. You repeat it several times in your head. But when it is finally your turn, you panic. Instead of speaking, you simply point at the menu. That is student behavior. But the new version of you says confidently, "I'll have a medium latte, please." Maybe the pronunciation is not perfect, but you said it. You participated. And participation builds confidence. Imagine another situation. You are in a meeting at work. The old version of you spends several minutes building the perfect sentence in your head. You check the grammar. You check the vocabulary. You make sure everything is perfect. But by the time you are ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. The moment is gone. But the new version of you raises your hand and says, "I have an idea." Maybe the sentence is not perfect. Maybe you hesitate a little. But you are participating in the conversation. Participation creates growth. Something else also happens when you participate. You receive feedback. You learn what works. You learn what sounds natural. You learn faster than someone who only studies alone. So, if you want to improve your English quickly, remember this rule. Study less and speak more. Study for 15 minutes, then use English for the rest of the day. Use what you learned. Talk to people. Record your voice. Leave comments online. Share your ideas. The more you participate, the faster your English will grow. Now let's talk about something that stops many learners from speaking: mistakes. Many students are afraid of making mistakes. They believe mistakes are proof that their English is bad. But speakers see mistakes differently. Speakers see mistakes as proof that they are actually speaking. Think about sports. If a basketball player misses a shot, they don't stop playing forever. They adjust. They learn. They try again. Speaking English works the same way. Fluent speakers make mistakes all the time, but they don't stop speaking because of them. Imagine you mispronounce a word during dinner with friends. The old version of you feels embarrassed and becomes quiet for the rest of the conversation. But the new version of you laughs and says, "Oh, that's how you pronounce it?" Then you keep talking. Because the goal of language is communication, not perfection. Imagine you make a grammar mistake during a meeting. The old version of you thinks about that mistake the entire night. But the new version of you focuses on something more important. Did people understand your idea? Did you communicate your message? If the answer is yes, then you succeeded. Mistakes are not your enemy. Silence is. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. And every time you speak, your confidence grows. Instead of asking, "Why did I make that mistake?" ask yourself, "What did I learn from that mistake?" Now, let's talk about one final strategy that can transform your English: the daily speaking habit. Every single day, you must create moments where you act like an English speaker, not just an English student. Identity is built through action. The more you act like a speaker, the more your brain believes you are a speaker. Start with something simple. Every morning, speak for 1 minute. Talk about your plans for the day. For example, you might say, "Today I need to finish my work project. After that, I want to go to the gym. Later in the evening, I will watch an English video." The sentences don't need to be complicated. They just need to be spoken. Another powerful habit is thinking in English. Most learners think about their day in their native language, but fluent speakers start thinking in English. For example, "I need to send that email. I should finish this report today. I need to call my friend later." These small thoughts train your brain to operate in English. Another powerful habit is talking to yourself. You can describe what you are doing throughout the day. For example, while cooking, you might say, "I am cutting the vegetables. Now I am adding some salt. Next, I will cook the rice." This simple habit builds speaking confidence. At the end of the day, record a short voice message. Talk about your day. For example, "Today was a busy day. I finished an important project. In the evening, I watched an English video and learned some new expressions." When you record your voice, two important things happen. You practice speaking, and you can listen to yourself and notice areas where you can improve. Finally, Try to use English in real-life situations whenever possible. Order food in English. Join discussions. Leave comments on English videos. Share your ideas. Fluency is not built in silence. Fluency is built through consistent speaking. So remember this: you are not just learning English. You are someone who speaks English. And every time you open your mouth and share an idea, you are becoming more fluent. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep improving every single day. This journey takes time, but every step you take brings you closer to confidence and fluency. And with consistent practice, your English will become stronger, clearer, and more natural.
If you want to become fluent in English step by step, subscribe to English Learning Booster and comment below. Do you see yourself as an English learner or an English speaker? I would love to hear your answer. And I'll see you in the next lesson.